don't mind.
I know. Hello, welcome to Sundays with Cinnamon. And we're doing back-to-back here, so she's wearing the same thing, but I'm going to do this one the next week. So anyway, today we are going to talk about, what did we just bring up?
You wanted to know if we're going to talk about the contract
Or which one would you have, bridges or
yeah,
boundaries?
or boundaries.
Which one would you like to speak about?
Just fire away. I'll
Okay.
just follow
So many people create boundaries, and what they do, and I have found this over and over again, saying, oh, that person has bad energy, stay away from that person, just be around people that lift you up and that you enjoy being around, and that makes sense.
It makes common sense. It doesn't make spiritual sense.
Please explain that.
Okay. Common sense is, the misery likes company syndrome. You gather a collective of people who agree, well, that makes it so.
Yes.
Well, if you gather a bunch of colorblind people at a red light, they all see it purple, and you come up and see it red, who's right? You see? So you make it right because it's common. This mass says it's so.
Yes.
And so you cannot give away what you know for being common.
Mm-hmm.
My grandson, when he calls and he'll say, well, Grandma, this or that, and if he's got an issue of a spiritual nature, I tell him Freedom, his most uncommon name, go ahead. You can choose to be common. Do what everybody else is doing. Go ahead, and you'll learn from that. Or you can live up to your name, and you can do it differently, and you can create your own experience of joy. And so
what would the uncommon thing be? To do, for instance, I'll speak about me.
Okay.
Many people know that my dad has chosen to disown me about 6 months ago, will not see me, will not return my phone calls, and often when I'm around him, I am given you're the bad girl energy, and it's not always pleasant to be around that energy.
It's common to just write him off.
Yes.
Well, he said, and he's acted out in that way, and why should I go and take on his energy and this and that? That's the common response.
Yes.
And the spiritual response, which is often uncommon, is bless his heart. I will leave him a message. Until he says, do not leave me messages, I'll just leave him a message now and then as my heart calls me to. And I will bless him and I will love him. Whether he remembers he's loving me or not, I'll remember for him.
Mm-hmm. And I completely agree with you from experience. Mm-hmm. I also want to say that a lot of people are not going to agree with that because they might say you're putting yourself in harm's way, and it's why be around someone that's abusive, let's say.
Love isn't stupid. You don't put yourself in harm's way. You have to take every individual circumstance for its value. You can't make a cookie cutter rule about how to manage love.
Yes.
You have to take each individual, and they may look similar and be very different, like two children in a family. To say this is the way we treat the kids is really, it's common, and it doesn't work. It doesn't help each individual to know the joy and the importance of their individuality. So you have to take, for instance, the people who would say, as you said, they would say, oh, you don't want to put yourself in harm's way. Don't. Mm-hmm. Are you in harm's way by leaving a message for somebody, for your father?
Well, before
it's not just somebody, it's your
before
father.
he disowned me, I dedicated to going over there every single week to visit him. And often in those times, he wasn't himself. He wasn't truly being who he really is, which is love. Mm-hmm. And often he would say things that didn't meet my models.
How would it be if you rendered proximity meaningless and you took 20 minutes out of a week, if you were going there once a week, and you just loved him and prayed for him and embraced him from within, because we're all headed for the whole anyway. And when that person leaves this body and goes to the other side, you're not separated from them. I know this. I've helped too many people over that bridge, and there's still, love never ends. It endures all things, including death. So you can get past this lack of proximity. He's still on earth. There's still a possibility.
Yes.
There's still a possibility. And you live for that moment that he could, not that he should or that he will, that he could. That's where the enthusiasm comes. This could be the moment. Or this was meant to help me to grow, to help me to love where it seems not to be, not to be, and find the fulfillment within myself to bring it up and send it out in the world to whomever is willing to take it. You don't want to force feed people that don't want it. You want to nurture it and make it whole and complete to give to people who do want it.
So what is your definition of creating a bridge versus a boundary?
Experiencing a parallel. In other words, looking for any time that you have ever experienced abandonment. In other words, walk a mile in his shoes. If you've ever, he experiences that you abandoned him.
Yes.
And that's why he fought back and he disowned you.
Yes.
So you just go to that place where you hurt yourself by creating the experience that you were abandoned or misunderstood or rejected. And then you just open your heart to him and his experience of that pain and his struggle to say that he's not experiencing that pain. And that's how you build a bridge, by like the Indians say, walk a mile in their shoes. Just be that person. In Living Love language, I call it instant consciousness doubler. I become that other person, see it from their perspective. Oh, well, of course you feel that way. Mm-hmm. And then see there's a possibility. When I work with couples, the one who brought the other here is thinking, I'm going to fix the other. And the other is thinking the same thing. So they come here with their guns loaded. And when they realize right away that I'm on no one's side, that I am on the side of love, I am in that centered place where I'm inviting both people to come join me and each other, then that's building a bridge.
And that is where I'm going to end it.
Okay.
That was amazing. You can't get better than that.
All right, then.
All right. We'll see you next Sunday.
All right.
Love you.
I look forward to it. I love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.